I grew up in Louisville in the segregated South. My daddy painted billboards and signs. My mama was a housekeeper. We didn't have much, but we had pride. I learned early on that the color of my skin would shape the way the world saw me. But I also learned something else, that I had something special inside me, something loud, something bold.
You want to know how I got into boxing? It was because of a bicycle. Somebody stole my red and white Schwinn. I was mad, man.
I told a cop named Joe Martin I was going to whoop whoever stole it. He said, "You better learn how to fight first." That was the moment. That was the spark. From then on, I trained. I trained like I was possessed. I had speed, style, and something different, even at 12. I had a mouth on me, always saying I'd be the greatest. People laughed then. They didn't laugh for long. By 1960, I had an amateur record of 100 wins and 5 losses. I qualified for the Rome Olympics and went there representing the United States. I was just 18.
In Rome, I won 4 fights, fast and clean. I danced, I jabbed, I dazzled, and I won the gold medal in the light heavyweight division. When I came back home, I was proud, but I still couldn't sit in a white-only diner. I still couldn't drink from any fountain I wanted. That medal didn't change America's mind about me, not yet. Legend says I threw my medal in the river. Truth or not, I felt like my country didn't honor me the way I honored it. I turned pro right after the Olympics. I won fight after fight. I talked trash. I recited poems. I told folks I'd beat them before I even stepped into the ring. They called me cocky, but I was just telling the truth before it happened. Then came Sonny Liston, the monster. Nobody gave me a chance. He was mean. He was feared. But I had speed. I had youth. I had destiny. In 1964, I danced circles around Liston. He couldn't touch me. When he quit on his stool in the 7th round, I yelled to the world, "I am the greatest." That night I wasn't just champion, I was reborn. I told the world my new name, Mohammad Ali. Cassius Clay was a slave name. I was a free man. A Muslim, a believer in justice, equality, and truth. Not everyone liked that, but I didn't care. In 1967, the government told me I had to go to Vietnam. I said no. I wasn't going to kill people I had no fight with. They never lynched me. Never called me out my name. I refused to be drafted. That cost me everything. My title, my license, my livelihood. They tried to break me. They called me a coward, a traitor. But I stood firm. I lost 3 years of my prime. But I never lost my soul. Eventually, the Supreme Court ruled in my favor. But even before that, I became something more than a fighter. I became a symbol. I showed people that conviction isn't just about what you believe. It's about what you're willing to lose for it. When I came back to boxing, I wasn't the same kid I used to be, but I was smarter, stronger in mind. My first big test was Joe Frazier. That man hit like a truck. Our first fight in 1971 was the fight of the century. He beat me that night, knocked me down in the 15th. It hurt, but I respected him. Then came the Rumble in the Jungle, 1974. Zaire, George Foreman, younger, stronger, feared. People thought he'd kill me. But I had a plan, the rope-a-dope. I let him punch himself out. Then in the 8th, I knocked him out. I shocked the world again. A year later came the Thrilla in Manila. Me and Frazier again, hot as hell. 14 rounds of pure war. When it was over, he couldn't see, and I couldn't walk. That was the toughest fight of my life. He was a warrior. I respected him more than I ever said. I didn't stop being a champion when I stopped boxing. I traveled the world. I met kings, queens, presidents. I stood up for people. I went to Iraq in 1990 to help bring home hostages. I spoke out against apartheid, racism, and hate. I was more than a fighter. I was a symbol of hope. In the 1980s, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. It slowed my body, but not my spirit. I lit the Olympic flame in Atlanta in 1996. My hands were shaking, but my heart was steady. That was one of the proudest moments of my life. Awards? I had plenty. The Presidential Medal of Freedom, Sportsman of the Century. But none of that mattered more than a smile from a kid. A thank you from someone who needed courage. My record? 56 wins, 5 losses, 37 knockouts. But I was never just numbers. I was a movement. I was the voice of the voiceless. I gave people the courage to be proud of who they are. When I left this world in 2016, I knew I had done what I was put here to do. I served others. I fought with dignity. I told the truth, even when it hurt. They called me the greatest, but I say this, the greatest thing you can do is believe in yourself and stand up for something bigger than you.
That was my greatest victory, and I thank God I had the chance to live it.